Thank you for the heads up.
Don't look at me.
What is happening?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Candles and Coasters. We are on episode 10 this evening of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight Into the Feywild. It is an adventure written by Wizards of the Coast, and we want to thank, as always,
10?
Comic Emporium.
You said episode 10.
14.
I am so sorry. I wrote 14 on my notes, and I thought 14 and 10 still came out of my face.
Hate it when that happens. Yeah.
You know, weird things. Anywho, we do still want to thank Comic Emporium, though, for hosting us like they do every week and allowing us to use their air conditioning, because without air conditioning, that would be really uncomfortable. And it's Florida, absolutely. So this evening, the coasters will be moving into Yawn, but before we do that, we need to roll some hit die so everyone knows what their hit points for this level are. And then after that, we need to discuss how you want to get to Yawn, because we didn't discuss a plan on who you're following, what you want to do, none of that, because we got our objects back, and that was pretty much end of stream last week. Well,
that was it.
That wasn't end of stream.
We're done.
We
I didn't get mine back yet.
I got my horse!
Yes!
Oh my goodness. Well done.
Yay!
Well done.
Fabulous.
I hope you were able to wear that the whole time.
I cannot breathe or see it.
But now we know what Torn looks like, so that's awesome. Thank you.
I'll roll it for my hit dice. But I won't be able to see the number.
You will roar over your head die, but you will be able to
That's
see
right.
the
That's all right. So
That's fine.
Jesse's going to read the numbers for you.
Yeah.
Everything's a 20.
Yes.
It couldn't be a 20. Okay.
Bajillion.
I cannot see anything. I am torn asunder. Let's go.
All right.
All right. Yeah, guys. All right.
Torn, roll him dice.
Oh, Torn gets to go. No, we need to make him go last so he gets to wear it longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But I don't want to go first because I still haven't finished leveling because I'm that guy.
Well then.
Okay, well we want to do.
The
Save
king should roll
Wow,
first.
And then I'll go, and then
Passing.
you can go, and then Torn can go, and
That
we'll
works.
do from the inside to the outside.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
I don't mind if y'all don't mind. I just need to know we need to decide what we're rolling. So.
I don't
roll,
care.
please.
Torn's gonna pass out.
It smells like chemicals and plastic.
He's the one that's going to be having a problem with it in a minute, not really me.
7.
7.
All right, good. That's a great number.
Lost my D8.
Pulled from just
No, I don't know. I still don't know.
You still don't know what you're doing over
Yeah, I
there?
still don't know what I'm doing over here.
Oh no, Jericho.
No.
I know. I was thinking.
Jared
Roll
doesn't
one.
know something. That's a first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but that's not. That is a first because usually
The
Jericho
first
does know. Oh no!
dice.
What did you get?
You want to roll a different one?
Can we? What?
I will give Sage this one because she was definitely MVP last week.
She was.
Yeah, she really was.
4. It's at
See,
least
it's
better. I rolled a cursed dice that I rolled earlier
Yeah,
that got a 7.
we talked about this.
Yeah,
Don't do
I
that.
grabbed the wrong one, but the other one got me a 4, so that's
All right,
7.
All right.
No,
Let's see.
it's
I
6
gotta
total.
throw a D8 as well.
Well, not a lot, but it's
I like
okay.
this one.
I'd
This
totally
one
be
betrayed
fine
me.
with it if y'all when when y'all have
Don't betray
really
me.
great moments like Sage.
You guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I knew it. I told you it was gonna betray me. I said it before it would happen. 2 on my die
Feel
there.
betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Oh, would you look
I'm
at that?
sorry.
I've actually already put it at 2 in here. 'cause
Oh,
I
look at
just
that.
knew.
You just knew, didn't
I
you?
just
My
knew.
turn now.
Your turn now.
Let's go.
I tried to give you more
Roll.
time
It's
to talk,
just,
sweet talking.
My turn.
Look at that.
+1. Was it
I
8?
don't know what your-
Yes.
Oh, you got an
That's
8.
enough now.
That's awesome. That's
I'll
a great
roll
roll.
a 7.
Should've
Plus
rolled
8.
a new one.
All right. Well, let's see. There's telekinetic.
All right.
Could shove people around.
So we've
They
all
can keep
added
in
our
mind.
new hit die scores.
What'd you get?
Because I'm a fairy, I got a new spell.
Oh, nice.
I can enlarge and reduce.
Yourself or other people?
What does the spell say?
Oh, okay.
That one should be
anyway.
yeah, I was gonna say that should be
That's
on
pretty neat.
not shield.
We're
'Cause
gonna
that's a
shrink
fairy
Torn
thing
after he got
anyway.
his big horns. That would be hilarious.
That'd be nice. Good lord.
Oh,
Okay.
I can do it
Oh.
for that, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I still don't know. I think I'm torn.
No,
Are
you're
you?
No, I'm
Jericho.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I'm.
gonna say, I
Jericho
don't
Moss wants
know
to
that
be
you
West
are.
Briar Moss.
I'm.
He's starting to lose
I'm
the same, so y'all really
indecisive.
better find.
I know, we really need to
Indus.
get his stuff.
You
Yeah.
indecisive.
Yeah. So I like the idea of keen mind. But the only problem with that is you always know the number of hours left before the next sunrise or sunset, and I would definitely not
You really
know that.
wouldn't.
But everything else that goes with that,
I will allow
really
you
like.
to take it with all of the other stuff, just not
I just wouldn't be able to
that
do
part.
that.
You have no idea about the time.
Like
That's
you always
going
know
to
which
be
way is north. You can accurately recall anything you have seen or heard within the past month, and that's the other part of that, which is I wouldn't know when I.
How about what we'll say is because it does, the fact that you don't have a sense of time doesn't necessarily. It's not going to affect the fact that you actually remember stuff like your actual memory storing process, as it were. In my mind, it would be magic that affects maybe how long it seems like something happened ago. So you might be able to remember something that happened 10 years ago and it feel like yesterday, but the fact that you're not going to be able to remember everything that happened 10 years ago, I don't feel like that would be altered by the magic.
Yeah. Well, then there's Lucky, and Lucky's always good.
Lucky's always great.
Mm-hmm.
I like Lucky. And then I was looking at, I think it was Fey Touched.
That one's always good. I like Fey Touch.
Yeah, because I do like the idea of getting a Misty Step and then also another first level spell. And I don't know. I really don't.
I mean, I don't mind you taking Keen Mind, and what you can do is, if you want to remember something, I'll just let you roll like percentile and like 50% of the time just to remember it.
Yeah, because I really like the idea of Keen Mind.
Yeah, I do. I think it would be a good one for
Jericho has a pretty keen mind.
Yeah.
He's just a little chaotic, but that's really just
him. That
him.
doesn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, that's just him.
Yeah, I don't mind you taking Keen Mind, and we can just kind of alter it in that you need to roll a percentile to see.
Cool.
Unless you can have like a thing to hinge it on, like, remember the time when Sage did the thing? I'm trying to remember the words she said.
Yeah, that way I will always remember the words to get through the mirror now. And I don't have to actually remember because Alex's memory is terrible.
Aww. Alex should write them down.
No, Alex doesn't keep notes.
Aww. It's gonna be rough for you though.
No, it is. I mean, think about it. Every game you've ever, I know you've got it.
I know!
I have never written a single note down. Ever. I don't keep notes.
To be fair, that's because Alex normally runs almost every game.
Yeah.
Alex is actually the first person that let me run something for other people because he had to go somewhere and he just handed me a battle map and went, here, they're in a room. This is what they're fighting. I was like, oh.
And here's the book.
That's awesome. I have no idea what's happening. It was fun though.
Hey, out of everybody at that table, I knew the person
Felt
that
like
I
God
could rely
was
on. It's true.
That's fair. All right, so. What did we leave off with last week? I think we got your horns back, right? Yeah? You have your horns back? Okay.
Light should be on.
Found out that lemongrass isn't dead.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you're the worst.
Why does everybody else hate lemongrass other than me?
I think she's great.
You created her, of course you do.
I think there's plenty of characters I create that I don't like.
Name one.
She's based off your characters.
You know what? Zell was kind of a little She wasn't my favorite. But we really, but she had some serious mental health issues. But
just because she talked to somebody nobody else could see.
yeah. It's a trauma. It happens. Anyhow. All right. So, how do you want to proceed forward? Because you know that you need to leave this area. You know that 2 of your compatriots are still missing things.
Mm-hmm.
Sage really wants her back.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho pretends that he doesn't. I think
Jericho's
Jericho
not missing it at all.
It feels like Jericho doesn't know what it is to have a sense of time anymore.
Kind of.
It feels like,
if
he knew, he would be like, oh God, that's awful. But he doesn't. So.
That's why he doesn't want it back.
But there could be some really bad, things could be bad for that.
Torn would like Jericho to have a sense of time back because he's a good friend like that.
Okay, I get that. I get that. Okay.
His best friend.
So what do we want to do? So, might I remind you, because I know we really didn't talk about this a lot last week because we were inside of, mostly we were inside the hag's house. So really, I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of left off extra stuff. I didn't want y'all to have to deal with the fact that both Torn and Jericho have these specters behind them. I didn't want y'all to have to deal with that inside there. To be fair, I don't feel like specters would have followed you in there.
Yeah, I think we
No,
talked
thank you.
about that. It was
I
like
do
they
have
wouldn't
a-
cross the threshold.
I do have a penguin hawk hybrid named Pock who could guide us to Yon.
It's true, you do.
So I have
I
that.
thought the plan.
We
Nightmare
also got the
picture.
I mean,
unicorn
I
horn.
could be wrong because I didn't get
Fair you
through last week's episode.
Okay.
I thought the plan was to go back to
the
the
cauldron.
air balloon
Mm-hmm.
and go to Yon that way because it was still there with Clabberclaw.
Yeah, we have to take Clabberclaw at his new head.
Yes, we did
Yeah.
get a new head for Powerclaw.
Well,
I
so
don't think it's new. I think it's maybe his original head and just
I was.
we
We got
didn't.
it.
So, y'all have come back to this area, and yes, if you wanted to, you could easily, the weather balloon, as far as that's concerned, you left it at the edge between hither and thither in the first place.
Yep.
And even though you came back, oh, you got to fast travel, that's why.
And we finally got a shower and bathe. That was nice.
You know, yeah, I feel like that probably was great. So, and I'm gonna definitely say y'all had a long rest at that point. So you had some time, you had some downtime. So, is that what we want to do? Do you want to have your little Pockbird try to lead you back to the edge of the two areas so you can get back on the balloon and try to fly it over into
Yon.
Yon?
We can do
What
that.
do we want to do?
That works
Yeah.
for me. Lead the way, Pock.
Okay.
I hate that bird so much.
So this little
Right.
terrifying.
Is Spottis his best friend?
No, it's just a monstrosity.
Yeah, this terrifying hybrid bird that looks like maybe it shouldn't be able to fly does something.
Yeah, and that makes
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
worse.
That's the hawk part.
Yeah, the hawk part it is. So this,
Well, it wouldn't be the penguin part. Duh. I mean, could you imagine that if it had a penguin's body and it still was able to fly?
I mean,
That
it
would be
could.
glorious.
that'd be adorable.
We should make that. You can make that happen. You have the power.
That's true. I could.
Why,
Still
why would you?
that
why?
just
Existence.
makes me happy.
Yep.
There's so many birds that don't
Sure,
fly. It
he's
makes
your
me
best
sad
friend.
for them.
I'm
But
I'm beginning
not
to
all of
have
them.
questions.
Having wings, not
I don't feel like cassowaries should do anything they don't do already.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to die.
I got
Freaking dinosaur birds.
Oh,
Why?
I was like, what?
Huh? Just saying.
Dinosaur bird.
Horrifying.
Dinosaur.
If you haven't looked up cassowaries, they're horrifying. Either way.
Oh no, spoonbills. Look up spoonbills.
Oh, they're not as horrifying as cassowaries. They're not. They can't. No, they're not. Anyway,
Agree to disagree.
cassowaries actually do not mind attacking humans.
Yeah, well, neither
Yeah.
do spoonbills.
Yeah, but they're still not. No.
Look up spoonbills, and you'll be like, "This is a horrifying animal.
Alright.
This was created specifically to terrify
nightmares.
children."
Back to the game to entertain the millions of people watching.
Yeah, well,
Anyhow.
I'm
Yeah.
All right.
I'm entertaining and educating at the same time.
It is
Like
important.
corn
We do
last
have
week?
education
Yes,
moments on our
exactly
show.
We really do. There's a lot of them.
Remember when you did that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
That was fun. Alright.
All right, so we move forward. We get back to, and so you do get back. You get back to Clapperclaw, and he is still where he was on the edge. He's a little confused that you're coming up behind him. He's like, "What is?"
We got you a new head.
Oh, thank you.
the original.
It isn't,
Nope,
but
here you go.
thanks. Thanks.
I mean, you
We'll
could
keep
have-
trying.
It's
We'll
cleaner,
figure it out.
so thank you. He's like, it's not,
like
not,
it.
but okay.
I like the idea of just
Oh, yeah, he would let you too. He's just like, oh,
and it's somehow working.
yeah, it's, yeah, okay. If it's a little better, I think. I'm not sure. We'll see in a few days. So he goes ahead, he helps you get into the weather balloon, and because you're used to this, because it's the Feywild, so if you've noticed that things move, they are not where they're supposed to be. You go to move from point A to point B, and point B isn't even where it's supposed to be. All of a sudden, you end up at point E. You missed a whole bunch of places in the middle, even though you went in a straight line. So you're used to that. So after a trip of what would be about 6 or so hours, you are going to come to the edge of Yon. And the moment your balloon moves over what you can see, it almost looks like a visible divide between the two realms. You are literally like in one realm, and things are still swampy and marshy like they always have been in Hither, and then all of a sudden you see like almost an opaque line between two realms. You pass through this like almost cloudy, and you continue into Yon, and the balloon immediately grounds itself. No one gets hurt, but the balloon just immediately stops, it falls, and it won't move further. And Clapperclaw just looks at you and goes, "Yeah, we can't fly this here. This is a bad plan." And as he's saying that, you kind of start looking around, and what you notice is it would indeed be a bad plan. Because when you get there, what you see is all of a sudden, everything has changed to a completely mountainous environment. You are in the middle of a mountainous area now, and not beautiful green plush mountains. No. Those mountains that are dark and black and jagged, and there is lightning everywhere. It sounds like it is in the middle of a terrible storm. And when you look at Clapperclaw for a minute, because everyone would assume like this huge storm, it sounds like is blowing, and he just looks and goes, "No, it's this way all the time. We're fine." And it's always this way. So you're just gonna have to roll with it.
It's all on fire.
Yeah, it is a little. It seems like it might be, and as a matter of fact, you can see all of this lightning, and it's not even normal amounts of lightning. Like normal lightning, there's a couple of pieces, but actually, what you can see on your tables is what you see the lightning actually arcing between is these huge lightning rods that are set up at irregular intervals between the different rocks. You can see them. There's large copper lightning rods, and you can see that once it hits one, sometimes it bounces between one or two, or sometimes it seems to go directly into the ground. But on the top of each one, you also see these little symbols, generally like it's a moon or a sun or something like that. But you can see that clearly someone is trying to harness this power here.
That's what my next question was going to be, is do these look, how do I put this? Do these look new-ish? Or do these look like a product of the hag? Or like, do these look like they've been here, or do these look like they are a product of the hags taking over this area?
Are you asking that out loud? Are you wondering this out loud? Or are you just kind of looking at it and trying to observe?
Well, I'll ask Clapperclaw directly if he might know the answer.
And he will. He'll tell you. He says, actually, these are Indolins. She uses the power that comes down through this and creates a sort of like electrical current, I guess she calls it. But she uses it to power her theater that she has up on the top of her mountain. And there in Motherhorn, she puts on these very elaborate plays. And
I should have taken the actor feat.
Dang it! She uses all of this power that she's harnessed to operate puppets and her lighting and curtains and all of these very dramatic
I
things.
could learn a few things from her.
So
Good show.
Probably good.
if we wanted to like spit in her eye, we could just start taking these things down everywhere we find them.
You could certainly try. And I don't think that she would be happy with you. I absolutely feel like you're right on that. But you could certainly try to take them down. I know they're a little hard to pull last time I talked to someone about it, but it's certainly something you could try. I'm not going to stop you. I am but a humble servant
So
at this point.
I'm not the first person to have that idea then.
No. The last people I knew of that tried it, well, they ended up having to make a deal with the hags for their life. But, they're alive somewhere.
Well.
So, but also, like I said, I mean, you this is your story, and I will be happy to follow you and
Kill you.
go ahead and not be
Betray
part of that.
you
Yeah.
at the first opportunity.
I mean, to be fair, you have really helped me. I am not going to betray you. I just might conveniently not be there. But I'm not going
Betrayal by
betray
omission.
That's what you'd like to call it. And while he's talking, you're kind of stepping out of you're stepping out of the balloon, you're looking around, you're seeing all of this. And you can actually see, as he's talking about all of this, there's a particularly loud crack of thunder and a really large lightning bolt, and it kind of draws your eye. It's just so bright. And when you look, you actually see, in the distance, you can actually see this castle of what you assume to probably be where Indolin lives. And the entire castle just looks ominous. Not only is it carved out of this black rock that the entire mountain is made out of anyway, something about it just seems to emanate a certain menace, even from this distance. You're like,
So one hag has a creepy murder house, another hag has a tree, and this one gets a castle?
Yep.
You know, some people have a flair for the dramatic, so.
You don't say. I think I'm gonna really like this hag.
I'm gonna go ahead and summon my unicorn.
All right.
So anything within any creature within 60 feet, we will automatically detect. I'm sorry, we get advantage to detect them,
Okay.
and that's everybody. And let's see, that's all for right now for that.
Okay. All right. So, guys, are we good to begin moving forward? What did we want to do? Because I know, Jericho, you had questions about the lightning rods, but excuse me, you don't plan to act on anything at this moment, correct? Just you summoned your unicorn. Is there any other preparatory actions anyone wants to take before we begin moving?
I'm good.
Cool. So, as you're standing there, Clapperclaw's kind of been talking to you. You kind of begin walking along. There's all of the paths here, none of them are wide. You're going to pretty much walk single file in any given place here. And while you're very used to one of your compatriots making the paths easier for you, there is no way to make this path easier. There's not, you can't smooth it out. It's just a really narrow path. If it got any smaller, you'd almost have to start thinking about trying to balance on it. It's just very narrow, and it is they're almost, for lack of a better explanation, if you've ever watched, clearly they're not like this exactly, but if you've ever like looked at those type of footpaths up the side of like the Grand Canyon or something, and they're so narrow and you're not even sure how donkeys get up them and you're terrified the whole time. That is what these look like as far as width and everything. They're tiny. They're not going to be easily there's not any way to make this like easier or safer really, because there's nothing around to do that with.
Without magic.
It's still dependent on what magic you tried to use, because it still needs something for the magic to grip to, and there's still not really anything there, because these are
8 foot tall, 300 pounds, and have hooves. It's a bit difficult.
yeah. So be careful, probably.
Yep. Probably in the back.
Mountain goats can do it. You got this.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They got 4 hoof legs. Oh, they got 2.
What are those legs?
They've got 4 hoof legs.
That's what I thought he said.
Like the whole legs.
Okay.
That's not a real thing.
So how are we walking, guys?
I'm
What
in the
is
back
order?
being as super careful as I can be.
Again, doubts.
He's probably in the front, I'm guessing. Because he's always in the front.
Let's see.
Are you in the front, Jericho?
Of course, Jericho leads the way.
Okay.
I'm going to be in the back, just being super careful.
Okay.
For once, not strumming on my lute.
Okay. So as you begin to walk, and again, like I said, guys, the entire time it's cold, it's windy, the lightning continues, the thunder continues. It's not slacking up, huh?
So that part of Torn likes.
Yeah, he probably. I mean, he's
He's
like,
this place is
I like
better.
this atmosphere. This is fantastic.
This is the cover of my next album.
Yes. So as you begin walking, though, you actually see
Yes.
2 figures are standing on an outcrop of rock. They are outlined against the stormy sky. One is a slender female elf wearing a crescent moon mask, and the other appears to be a 3-foot-tall dandelion that appears to have a rapier strapped to its stem. And there's a honeybee the size of an orange that buzzes around the dandelion's bright yellow head. Nope. As you walk, the elf is actually the first to notice you, and you see her pointing in your direction, and you actually see the dandelion turn and draw his rapier as if he is going to try to fight you and assume a defensive pose. And the honeybee itself, you've gotten a little closer, you can hear it starts buzzing a little louder, and you see it flying in circles around the 2 of them. They are standing directly in your path. I mean, if you continue walking straight, which that is the only path right this very moment, you're going to walk into them.
Interesting.
Go over.
Please.
Go over that.
There's a
Yeah,
bee.
Just go over.
There's a bee. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah, it can
there's
fly
a
with you.
bee.
You don't have to assume everyone wants to hurt you. You can just
But
speak
they
to
drew a
people.
weapon.
They drew a weapon.
I mean,
It doesn't know who you are.
yeah, and
We'll be like,
You know what? Y'all do you. Tell me what we're doing.
We mean you no harm. You might want to put that sword away. This fairy here took out a dragon.
right.
As long as you mean no harm to my friend Palinella, then I'm fine.
Mm,
And
we don't even know who that is.
Who's that?
my honeybee.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Why would we hurt the honeybee?
Should we want to hurt the honeybee?
I don't know why you would want to hurt her,
Would your
but
husband
I'm in
do?
love with her, and we'd like to be able to leave this place and get married eventually. So we're not having you hurt her.
You
That's all I'm
don't
saying.
say.
Buddy here's the holy fairy.
Bet.
He's ordained.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well,
Oh.
today is your lucky day.
Oh my god.
I can play the music.
We happen to be a traveling wedding crew. We
Yep.
can perform them on the spot. I actually have already married Lady Palasha to Monsieur Candlefoot. I guess she's Lady Palasha Candlefoot now, unless he took her name. That'd be very
It'd
progressive
just
of
be
him.
Lady Palasha Foot.
I thought his whole name was.
And was
Anyways.
it Candle?
Anyways,
Foot?
I've already married some
Candle
folks.
Foot?
If y'all
We
want to
don't
get
know.
married, I can marry you right here, right now.
Yeah.
We got Torn over here. He is an accomplished and signed musician, and he can perform all the wedding music for you. This can even be presided over by the rightful king of Prismere right here. And of course we've got Sage, who's
Bodyguard.
Yeah, she can make sure that if anybody's like, I object, that she takes them right out.
Yep.
She does what a bridesmaid is supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, like she's just like, I'm sorry, are you giving the bride some lip? How about I give you some fist?
And those fists took out a dragon.
That's right.
I'm working on the
We
battle.
call her Rage in the Cage Sage right there.
I'm so happy to have met you. It seems that you are adventurers then. And
No, we's not adventurers. We's a
Ooh.
traveling wedding crew.
Oh, okay.
Just marry people on the road.
That's what we do. We're
I'm-
traveling.
I'm really excited about that. You could perform the wedding ceremony for us. It's freaking amazing. I'd be more than happy to act as your guide while you're here in Yon.
Hey, that'd be really handy because
And-
that's what we need right now.
Help you get to where you need to go. I know that this is kind of asking you for extra, but I mean, possibly my friend Gleam here, and if that the elf kind of, she's been silent, she's been standing back and kind of steps forward, and he starts talking about her, and he says, her sister is still being held by Endelyn Moongrave.
Oh, hey, we're heading that way now, so we can help out with that too. We're not adventurers,
And-
but
That's a cool last name.
As you can see, and if any of you,
no, I've heard.
what is
that.
passive perception right now? Well, you know what? Just roll me perception checks, and you get advantage because of your unicorn, right, Jerica?
To detect creatures, yes. If this
I'm
is not
gonna-
to detect creatures, yeah, it wouldn't.
Okay.
My passive is 18.
Okay. Well, passively then, Jericho, you would notice that in this place of shadows and lightning and thunder and, no actual rain, but it feels like it's about to rain, it's very peculiar that the elf does not seem to cast a shadow at all.
I don't try to pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Okay.
That to me is just going down a dark road that we just don't need to. It's borrowing trouble, as my mama used to say.
Okay. Anyone else, if you rolled at least a 10, I'll say that you noticed it too. Because
I
it's
rolled
just,
13.
yeah, it's
Noticed
kind of
something
a,
once.
yeah, I mean, it's again, you're literally standing in an area where lightning flashes are happening and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's kind of quickly evident, it's easily to notice, there's not a shadow there though. It's just kind of a little odd. But they explain, and Amador says, "Well, I would love it if you would marry us, sir. But I would like to make sure that I finish the mission that I've committed myself to in helping Gleam try to get her shadow back." And
Is this one here, Gleam? I point at the honeybee.
no, this is my beloved Pollinella, the elf, and he gestures to the elf who is standing here. He says, "This is Gleam." And she steps forward and she kind of starts talking a little bit. And she's like, "Look, here's what happened. My sister's name is Glister, and I represent the moon, obviously, and she's a representation of the sun. When we came here, I made a bad bargain, and Endelyn took my shadow. She is now holding my sister because she believes that her demise will happen during an eclipse. And she believes it to be metaphorical, and she feels that by keeping my sister and I apart from each other, that she can possibly prevent her own demise."
She kind of dumb, ain't she?
I didn't say she made sense. I just said it's what she did. She's also real dramatic.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah,
get
real
it.
dramatic. So, but I'd really love to get her back. I mean, I would like to go back to the Witchlight Carnival. It's where we came from. We'd like to go back.
I work there. So
Them two right there, they work together at the carnival.
I would,
Starting to question if we still have jobs at this point.
I feel like you're kind
Time's
of
funny.
doing a job for them right this moment.
Mm-hmm.
time's funny
Kind of.
in the Feywild. It's possible you could get back and nothing actually even, like, no time check passed.
Right.
You could get back and it's been like 4 years and everyone's like, "Oh my
Right.
God,
Could
you've
be
been
40
gone
years,
so
could be
long. We're
400 years."
so
Mhm.
excited that you came back at all." Like, who knows?
Jericho.
Jericho definitely
Jericho doesn't
wouldn't
know,
have
doesn't care.
been. He really wouldn't. And she says, if you'll help me get my sister back, I really, really appreciate it. Amador's already said that he will help me. And Miss Pollinella, of course, I'm sure she'll be more than happy to try to help in whatever she can. But if y'all can help me, I mean, the two of you are from the Witchlight Carnival. You know how you understand, like, we're acrobats, and I'm sure that you're aware that you're missing some acrobats. So
We're missing a lot of things.
Yeah.
People.
well, I'd like to go back. Really would, but
But yes, I have no problem getting your sister back. We're headed that way anyways. I accept.
I mean, while we're talking about it, if we're talking about people from the carnival, Hurley is here somewhere too. He
Oh,
made
hey.
not the best bargain with her, so
Harley.
Yeah, Hurley's
sounds familiar.
his brother Burley was the ungentlemanly like fellow. See, I knew if I said that, you'd know exactly who I was talking about.
The brother to the
Burley.
I feel like Hurley's probably the nice one.
Man, I need to rewatch the old
Yeah, we found the cub. We probably should have sent the cub back through the mirror before.
I
you
thought
guys
we did
destroyed that.
Didn't we do that? I think we did. We sent what's her name, Starla?
Star.
Star. Yeah, we sent Star away. Remember, it was all like
You
gotta.
talked about sending her back home.
Yeah, because when we met up with Will,
think
we
so.
saw Star, and
Yeah, I think you told
and
her
he was like, "Oh
he
yeah,
needs-
she'll
needs to
just
go
follow
home."
that light."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, Jericho remembers.
Making sure.
Leave Jericho. He knows. He's got a keen mind.
Mm-hmm.
Good lord.
So, where's your sister located in that castle? you know the
I think you
room?
just answered the question. In that castle.
Just in the castle is unfortunately really all I know. I do know what I do know is that we possibly could try making friends if you'd like of some Korads who live here in the mountains, and I think that they probably would help us.
What's Torad?
They are fey creatures, and they
that
are.
would make sense.
You know, I don't know why I tried.
I didn't feel like they'd be like an elemental or some sort of
Yeah.
demonic individual.
Technically, everything here is a fake
I
creature.
mean, there's definitely plenty of elemental things you've run into.
We're traveling with a
Here?
fake creature.
In Yon?
Not in Yon, but
Well,
in
then
the
why would we
Witchlight.
bring that up?
You know what? You're right. Either way, Korads, however, they are small creatures. They are small to medium size level of creatures.
Like
And-
Jericho and Sage.
Yeah, kind of. And they have faces that you can definitely see and hands and feet, but the rest of them is covered in this really weird, wiry, bushy fur. That anybody have a nature check
Don't need to.
or
Sounds-
history check?
Sounds like my Uncle
I
Harrison.
can do nature.
Sounds like your Uncle Harrison.
Uncle Harrison.
Because of
Mossblock.
hair?
I can do
Yeah.
nature. That
I can
is
try.
They called him.
6 plus 6. That's a 12.
You'll never
That's
guess
enough.
what they called
They're
him.
Actually, no, that was
as
a
a
9.
nickname.
My bad. I'm sorry. New
Well, that's
dice
even better.
thing. Yeah, 9 plus 6.
Nobody gonna take me up with that.
What? I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
I was
all
paying
right.
attention to his roll.
No, that's fine. We don't.
Yeah.
I just said that sound like my Uncle Harrison Moss Blossom. We gave him a nickname. Bet you won't guess what it is.
Harry?
No, I said you won't guess that. Yeah.
What was it?
It is Bob
Uh,
because of the hairstyle.
What you're going to remember and what you're going to know in the nature check.
It takes a minute and then
Can't
it hits
withdraw,
you.
really.
Got it.
Okay. What you will remember with your nature check is you'll remember you've heard of Chorids before. And you will remember that they are indeed basically what I just described, but they have their hair is what seems to make them a bit different. And that they have this hair that is very rough and to the touch, but it is as strong, some say, as iron. And you'll know that the creatures themselves are cloven hoofed creatures, so they generally have no problem getting around on the rocks. But they'd probably be native to this area because they generally live in rocky, mountainous type areas, so.
Alright, I relay all that to them. In the most intellectual way, professor-like that's possible.
Perfect.
Cords have rough hair that feels like iron, and they have no problem navigating a rocky environment.
Say what?
Cords have rough hair.
Okay. Anyhow, and so Amador the Dandelion, and at this point he will introduce himself as such. He will say, "I'm sorry, I also did not tell you. My name is Amador." And
Well, hey, I'm Jericho Moss Blossom of the West Briar Moss Blossoms. Sometimes I go by Cotton Candy. Sometimes I go by all kinds of names. Pleased to meet you.
'tis a pleasure to meet you indeed, sir.
And I'm Torn Asunder who can handle any blunder with the sound of his thunder. Nice to meet you.
Check out his horns.
Lovely.
Aren't they large?
6 foot large.
They are magnificent, sir.
Thank you. Just
And
got
then this here is the rightful king of Prismere. His name is Lord Almighty Parthenos of the Leonin kings.
And that's Sage Rage in a Cage.
Yeah, Rage in the Cage, Sage.
Rage in
Dragon
the
Rage,
Cage.
Sage.
Rage,
I mean,
Already.
Sage,
Still a
Sage
dragon.
has a few different names, nom de plumes, as you might say.
And he listens to you and he continues to listen. But based on what he's just heard, and he can see, of course, Parthenos has been wearing both crowns. We've discussed this before. You kind of, at this point, this is something that you do all the time. And Amador actually takes a knee and he bows his head and he says, "'Tis an honor to meet the one who we would call rightful king. I hope that
Finally,
you will
some respect."
continue on to make sure that the lady that once ruled this land of Prismere is returned to her rightful place and the hags are dethroned."
Amador, by chance, do you have a liege lord at this point in time that you owe fealty to? Or that you have pledged yourself to?
I would pledge myself to none but the rightful queen, through the rightful ruler of this place, and to my lady love, Polynella.
So you're saying that if King Parthenos was to offer you a position as one of his faithful knights, you would turn it down? As Knight of the Realm?
I have no reason to doubt what he says, that what you say is true, that he should be the rightful king here. And if I should see evidence of that,
2 crowns.
which would be evidenced by him moving forward to help make sure that this place is freed from the enslavement of the hags, I would be more than happy to take any position that he offers me, provided I am not taken away from my lady Palinella, who we've already worked so hard to free.
Oh, I understand. So this is one of those situations where you're kind of like sitting on the fence and waiting to see what happens.
No, I would never bow a knee to the hags.
Right.
However,
well, this is definitely not the hag. As you can see, 2 crowns, double crowns. Currently, we just came from thither, where we have ousted that hag and freed all the children, and now they all live happily. And then after that, or before that, I don't remember, was it after or before? Anyways, we dealt with Hither, and that place is doing a lot better now that we've ousted all those individuals. So this is our final stop on this journey before we go to see Her Majesty and put her betrothed next to her where he belongs. But that's all right. No, you just keep on with your knightly self.
I have yet to hear anything from the king.
He's a king of few words.
The king, yeah, he's one of them stoic types. That's why he's got good old Jericho around, because Jericho knows how to talk to the people.
Yes. He's the hair of the king.
That's correct. Ask around. You ask about Jericho just about any realm, and you're going to hear about Jericho. Everybody knows Jericho Moss Blossom and Westbriar Moss Blossoms. Hair to the king.
Hair.
Because he won't shut up.
Y'all remember when we went to that little old town full of frog
Sir
people?
Parthenos.
And we brought justice and law and order to it?
I'm told that it sounds like from your compatriot that you intend to free the realm from the hag's ruling and attempt
intend to.
to
We're doing it.
return Lady Zybilina to her rightful place.
2/3 of the way done.
Then I would be happy to travel with you and pledge my sword as long as we keep my lady Palinella with me and no one attempts to make us part.
No, I don't think that was ever the idea. We weren't going to part you. We just needed to knight you into his service.
They'll have to go through both of us first.
Thank you.
That's right.
Right.
I mean, anybody comes up and wants to mess with y'all, we just sick Sage on them.
Yeah.
You don't want to get on her.
Smallest
You don't
one
want to get on
of us is
Sage's
the
bad side.
Now.
You know, Sage will rock.
You didn't know you were
She
turning
killed
into
the
the
dragon.
muscle butt head.
I mean, she did.
Her.
We all were there.
Yeah. Saw it.
She took it all by her lonesome.
Yep. We were.
Just looked that thing right in its beady little eye.
It's baby little eye, huh?
You don't even know the terror that was in that dragon's soul when Sage squared up.
Yeah.
Because that dragon thought, I'm going to eat this fairy. And that fairy thought, I'm going to eat this dragon. Only one of them was right.
The fighting fairy, mighty but scary. Dragon Rage Sage. Dragon Rage Sage.
See, there's that bard right there just telling the story.
Still working on it.
But no, all right, Amador.
Sounds like a wonderful beginning.
Amador and Palinella. Amador, if you'd swear fealty to the rightful king here, then not only will we marry you here on the spot, because we can do
Yeah,
that,
we still need to do that.
but also you will be first knight of the realm. That comes with, well, I'm talking directly to Palinella at this point, but that comes with a hefty privilege and paycheck.
Okay. She doesn't speak back to you.
That's all right. She gets it.
In so many words. She bobs gently in the air, and Amador turns. This is, as I said again, King. I would So if fealty to you, I will be your knight. I will come with you, and I only, like I say, request that you do not pardon me for my lady love, and that we restore the realm to what it once was.
Of course.
If you'd like, I am more than happy to begin as a guide for you through this area. I know obviously that you're going to want to get to the castle because obviously we need to deal with the hag. However, might I suggest that we take the suggestion of my friend Gleam here and you venture to see if maybe the Corrids would align themselves with you. So you might have some extra help.
We'll take all the help we can get. I'm interested to see these chords. I've only read about them in books.
Okay. And at that he nods and he says, if you will come this way, we will begin the journey that way and we will go that way.
Let's go!
And he begins leading you down. Oddly enough, you've been climbing up and now you begin going back down. And yes, you're on a mountain and the mountain itself continues to soar upward, but yeah, the paths are kind of up and down. They don't look like they were made with the intention that they would make sense, maybe.
Nothing makes sense here.
Yeah, back and forth, switchbacks, all that weird stuff. But
Well, before we go through all this, can we go ahead and do this whole wedding ceremony and knighting ceremony?
certainly,
I mean, is anybody?
I thought they
Up to you.
wanted Gleam's sister for the wedding.
I mean,
they don't necessarily, he says, I don't necessarily need to have, Glister doesn't need to be present for the wedding or anything. We just, you've already pledged that you'll do your best to make sure that we're not parted again. And we may run into someone who, some who don't want us together. But, with that in mind, I'm willing to go ahead and go through with both the ceremony for knighting and, of course, the wedding, obviously. And at that, of course, Paulina seems happier. She kind of spins in some little circles. She still doesn't speak to anyone. She just kind of buzzes louder and kind of spins in a little circle, and that's it.
okay, cool.
Alright, let's do it. Bam.
All right, so let's do wedding first. So we get them two hitched. I'm gonna need just a little bit of time here to make this happen.
About how long?
I'd say an hour.
Cool.
Pretty much exactly 60 minutes is what it takes to do this.
Almost exactly.
Of real time.
Almost exactly.
Oh, Jericho knows how long that is.
Yes. Well,
It's ready when it's ready.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's like,
You know what? It's ready when it's ready. That's exactly
being
right.
right with you, and you're just like, how much longer? I don't know, but when I'm
3
ready.
hours later.
Yeah, exactly. Might be 3 hours. The rest
Or
of you are
5
like,
minutes. Could be done 5 minutes.
dude. And he's just like, it's not quite right yet. I don't feel it. And I'm like, all right. So Jericho begins to prepare his ceremony.
No.
Regardless of not knowing time constraints, though, I mean, ceremonies, stuff like that, it still takes a certain amount of time to set a thing up and blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
I'm going to assume you would still be able to feel things, that's fine. While he is doing this during this hour, is anyone else doing anything else? Are you eating? Are you
Do all the things.
Are you talking with anyone? Are you asking any questions? What? Or do you want to you're going to chill and wait for Jericho to finish his thing?
Helping with the preparations.
There we
Okay.
go. All right, so
Torn, you said that you want to help him.
Yes.
Jericho, are you going to need to prepare a second ceremony after this for the knighting?
now I'm gonna do both.
Okay, you're going to do both in one ceremony.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do both.
Parthenos, are you going to be doing anything?
Yes.
Okay, what are you
I
doing?
have a couple things I want to do
Okay,
in
what's
the
up?
time while he's doing that.
Okay, talk to me.
So, in the first being, Mr. Amador,
Mm-hmm.
could I speak to you privately for a minute?
Yes, sir. And he steps away, and you see him like brush Paulina softly on her side, and just be like, he asked to talk to me. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll keep her company.
So we are here under the kinship of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light from the carnival. We're here to help restore Zablina to the throne.
Okay. Good.
You stated that you were part of the acrobatics act from the carnival?
Gleam was. Gleam and her sister Glister were previously. I have not had the honor of having been admitted to the carnival.
Right. We can probably fix that.
It'd be amazing. Okay. So did you want to ask any questions of Gleam because she would have more specific information? Is that what you were hoping for?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
No, he would go to ask. So he's like, I'm gonna go talk to Gleam.
Absolutely. And Gleam is fine with coming to you and being like, yes, sir, how can I help you?
We're here, as I told Amador, we're here under guise of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. We're here to restore Zablina to the throne.
Okay.
We will get your sister back.
Thank you.
Just one thing that I need to ask is before I step through the mirror into hither,
Yes, sir.
I was told to find the alicorn.
To the best of my understanding, sir, that most likely would be a reference that has to do with a unicorn horn that is needed to phrase Zablina.
Oh, this thing?
Yes, probably. Just that one, sir.
You just wave it around
So-
all willy-nilly.
Wonderfully, you already have it. That makes it seem as maybe you are truly ordained to this task, which makes me feel all the better about traveling with your crew. I can tell you, as we go through this area, we may also run into an elven prince, and he made a bad deal with Indolin, who didn't. They're all terrible deals. They sound good in the first place, and they never turn out the way they're supposed to.
Right.
But he's found himself trapped here, and he may ask us for help to maybe help him get back home. The last time I heard of him, he was staying near the Fey Beacons looking for a way back home. So he may beseech your help as well, sir.
You know his name?
Yes, sir. His name is Aligarthus. But I certainly would recommend that we do, of course, talk with the Corrids because this is their home. And I know that we can find them at Loch Greyhenge. They generally dance and sing there, and a lot of times they kind of stay over in that area. The last time I heard, they seem to be in some type of power struggle with some other creatures here, but I'm not sure that either of them truly mean the struggle that's between them. They may believe it's based on false assumptions. That happens here some. But please tell me if there's any other way I can aid you, sir, at any time. I know that I will be forever in your debt if you help me get my sister back, and we would be happy to, she and I both, be happy to do whatever to repay that debt as needed to you. Okay. So do you need anything else? Do you want to talk to anyone else or check in on anything else?
Not talk to anybody else or anything, but within the last 10 minutes before the ceremony starts, Parthenos will cast Find Steed.
Okay. Alright, so while you're doing that, and you can tell me what it is you are hoping to find in just a moment, Sage, what were you wanting to do?
I was hanging out with the bee while he was talking to the guy. Probably mostly just probably playing with the bee.
Okay.
Because, you know, not very often at this point in time that I've gotten to be around other
Hang out
flying
with other winged creatures.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. You hang out with a bull and a bunny and a lion. So.
Just like I'm more worried
Hair.
that someone's going to like smack me out of the air because they forgot I was with them.
Yeah.
Not really sure. That's valid.
Easily happens.
What are you hoping to find, Parthenos?
So the spell says that I summon a spirit that assumes the form of an unusually intelligent, strong, and loyal steed.
Okay.
So it can take on the form that I choose of a war horse, a pony, a camel, an elk, or a mastiff.
Okay. So what are you choosing?
A war horse.
Interesting.
That's a neat trick.
That there is pretty handy.
Yeah.
Those spells.
All right. Torn we checked on. All right, Jericho.
Yes.
How are you? How are we doing here? Is our spell
I'm
all...
fine. How are you?
You're right.
Is your spell all ready?
Nearly.
Okay.
I am missing one key part,
Okay.
which hopefully Darrow will be bringing in just a moment.
Okay. Well, we'll give you just a moment to do that.
Some random other adventure.
And yeah, just a random
Look,
adventure.
his stealth is so incredible that he actually left one campaign, appeared in another. Nobody saw
Nobody
him
noticed,
leave.
and we were just like,
Nobody
And
"What
then
are you
went right
doing here?"
Something just,
It
just
happened.
popped
We're
up
doing
and
the
it was
plane
gone.
shift spell.
Yeah, oh,
The
yeah.
plane ship spell and
Plane ship.
everything. We're just
Plane
like,
ships stuff.
neat. All right. So while we're waiting on that
He
to
may not- he
happen,
may not have got
You
it.
need to go get
I,
Go-
I will
go.
be. I will be right back.
go right ahead. So while we wait for Jericho to do that, would anybody like to possibly describe for me what you feel like probably we are looking at as far as a wedding ceremony now? Did you gather flowers from the area? Did you look for some? Did we do fey lights? Like, you have a dancing spell, like lights cantrip. What else? What are we doing? What are we doing to like... I assume you're a part of Jericho's band, so you're doing your best to create an ambiance because it's Jericho.
I'm
Right.
using like
Yes.
I'm using like
Yeah.
prestidigitation to like some fireworks
Thingy.
and showmanship aside.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm using that to like glam up like wherever. Like, I mean, we're on a mountain.
Well,
pass,
that's
so
what I
there's
was
not much
thinking.
of a
Like, I was going to
stage.
use like plant growth, the spell to actually
Yeah.
summon up plants and
I
stuff. And
don't think the flower would appreciate us going and picking other flowers.
Yeah, I
to
wasn't-
decorate
I
the
was
I was
not-
asking a question.
with
not
it.
picking so much as
Yeah.
just
Encouraging.
springing to life,
Okay.
and then using a little Jericho craft to get it nice and pretty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm writing music for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely do the
I got it.
fairy fire once everything's closer to time, so it
Okay.
lasts through the ceremony.
All right. So Jericho, tell us what your
All right,
ceremony
so
looks like.
I have gathered everyone in attendance, and I stand up in my formal robes, which I have changed on the spot, and I put first I have Amador stand with me, and I have Pollinella be escorted in by Gleam
Mm-hmm.
to Torn's wedding march, or whatever that might sound like for Torn. Sounds good, just like that. And so yeah, so we're standing in nice little like green area. Sorry, there. I got
See,
you.
smack me
I
up.
know! Smack you right in the
With my
sky.
hands, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
So, anyways, yes, there's a whole,
Right.
green and foresty, well, not foresty, but planty, lots of flowers and colors and everything, and do a little prestidigitation to clean Amador up because, he's on the mountainside. Like, you gotta look better for your wedding, feller. Like, duh. Like, treat her like the queen she's supposed to be. Queen bee, right there. Anyways, so get them all prettied up,
Mhm.
and then we get everybody together,
Mhm.
and I go, today, amidst the wonders of the Feywild, we gather to celebrate the union of this dandelion and this bumblebee. Like the delicate dandelion whose seeds drift on the breeze, and the industrious bumblebee whose flight brings life to the flowers, their love has blossomed in harmony
with nature's dance. May their bond be as resilient as the roots that anchor them, and as free-spirited as the winds that carry their dreams. Let us bless their union with the magic of this enchanted realm, where love knows no boundaries. Amador, before we can permit this to continue, we must first knight you so that you may become first knight of Prismere in service to his almighty king, Lord Parthenos. If you would, Amador, please kneel.
And as you say that, he does indeed. Parthenos, I assume, would be standing to the groom's side, and he will turn to him and kneel.
Where'd Jericho get a sword? We don't know.
Apparently.
You could have just borrowed Torn's sword.
Could have, but Jericho's had a sword this whole
Jericho
time.
said,
Didn't know
"But he
what to
didn't."
do with it until this very moment.
Jericho crafted some iron from the mountain and forged
Well,
it.
you know how it is. Jericho's full of surprises. So he says, "Kneel, Amador. In the name of the Sith, I charge you to be swift and free. In the name of the Elder Tree, I charge you to be wise and just. And in the name of the moonlit glade, I charge you to protect the innocent and the pure. Arise, Sir Amador, knight of the Feywild. You may kiss your bride."
I feel like we skipped something, but that's
Yeah,
good.
like-
Cool.
You really
There's a whole vows part and everything, but you know what? It's
Nope,
good.
we
He's
don't do
fine.
that around here. We ain't got time
He's
for
good.
it.
He's good.
We
He
got
doesn't
time
care
for it.
what you skipped. He's excited. He kisses his bride, and they're very excited, very happy, and
And the music starts.
By the way,
There
you
you
can pick this up here at the shop.
Yep. If you too want to knight your friends,
There you
buy swords at Comical Corner.
Yeah, don't worry. Jericho is free to knight anybody who'd like to be knighted. Y'all just come right on through.
y'all just go ahead and schedule that with Jericho. He
There you
will
go.
knight you.
That's right.
At the
I,
same
I,
time.
I'll knight you all day and night. See what I did there?
speech.
What?
You did.
Should save that speech.
That's
Oh yeah,
Good.
no, I did. Yeah.
Then
fabulous.
with the prestidigitation,
Yep.
fireworks start showering out. Mage Hand is summoned in the form of double horns. Torin, then lightning strikes through his lute.
May you be wed until you're both dead. How fun would your lover be together forever? You see, bee and flower, your love has ultimate power. Bees and flowers make the world go round. For without their love, the world will be nothing but destroyed ground.
Save the bees.
That's pretty good. But
We all approve that.
But
That's
you know.
FYI.
there is something that would make it just that much better.
What?
Put the head on.
The head on? What head on? I did
Look, I already did it once!
Sorry, you cannot bring that
Yeah,
in here
yeah.
and not expect me to
So
want you
in
to wear
the
it
future,
again.
when I do porn songs, I will wear the head.
All right,
all right,
Read
we'll
what I
take it.
wrote, so
We'll take it.
Fabulous. Thank
hopefully I can
you.
memorize it.
We've had a lot of
I can't see.
fantastic off the cuff poetry from our people tonight. That's fantastic. Very good, guys. Hold on. I feel like that deserves a little more than that was good. Guys, it was fantastic. Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you. Either way. All right. So,
All right, back to the
We're
adventure
done.
at hand.
everybody.
Amador, as first knight of Prismere, we charge you to get us to that there castle. Post haste, toot sweet.
So we fuck this hag up.
Sir,
That's
absolutely.
right. Torn over there is just itching to get in and show this, whatever she might be, true art.
Oh, my. All right.
As a matter of
So,
fact, I think probably Parthenos is too. He's got an eye for art now. He's got his keen sort of sense
Mojo
going.
back.
Yeah, he got his mojo.
Mm.
And
So,
I
maybe-
think probably everything that this hag is doing is an absolute offense to these two individuals.
it's possible.
Like, the background Parthenos has already set up like a whole sketch place, and he's been
Sketching the entire
Every
thing
time
for
we
them.
stop, he's out there he got his book just to go
You didn't need wedding photos. I got you.
yeah
in.
Thank you. Yeah.
free of charge.
I owe them so much already. Oh god.
Well, I'm glad you admit that. Jericho's just
Oh,
gonna
no,
write
that's
that
not
down in
really
his
expensive,
book.
really fast.
Let's see, one wedding ceremony, one knighting ceremony.
I hope so. All right, so with that, he says, I am excited to be part of your group, as is Lady Pollinella, and we will go ahead and proceed forward, and we will first go to where we would find the cords, as discussed previously. And he begins walking. Now, as we had talked about before, the path that you start walking down goes directly down. At this point, it pitches steeply down. So as long as everybody is paying attention, we're not doing anything silly, we're not jumping around or anything, you should be mostly fine.
That's silly.
Always.
I know, right? I don't know what I'm thinking. But I do just for the sake of trying to make sure we're all good, if everyone can please roll me either athletics or even if your strength is stronger, I'm fine with you rolling like a strength save. I just need you to roll higher than a 5 to not fall off the side of the mountain.
Thank God for that +7. It's a 3 on the die, but +7 is the same.
It almost got so bad. Okay.
Can we use acrobatics?
You can use acrobatics or strength because really all you're trying to do is
Cool.
not slide down. So if your strength
Yeah,
is
we good.
stronger, you're fine because you're just kind of fighting gravity. Your acrobatics is better. That's fine either way.
I mean, at that point, then.
You are still being blown around furiously by the wind, so I do still need that one.
Okay.
Yes, sir?
That's what I just need.
Yeah,
You know what?
You're
The
flying,
shading, I
so-
was like, do I still
You're right.
need him?
He is indeed. So what is your warhorse's either strength? If you want to pull the stats for a warhorse and
I've
roll
already
it.
cut it up.
There you
Okay.
go. I would say your warhorse probably got a heck of an athletics on it.
Yeah.
But
Picture of a
it doesn't.
panther.
It's just basic.
The warhorse, I think, is a really good strength, right?
There's a +4.
What about athlete?
So you can't fail it.
He's like, maybe.
But it won't.
Good.
18.
There you go.
So, Miss Sage, how are we doing over there?
7.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. I told you, it didn't
might
need to
wanna
be
hold on
high.
to
It's
Torn
just,
horns.
Just trying to grab
just
her.
enough to just make sure no one just decided to walk off the side. That's really it, guys.
Unless the bird's gonna allow that.
It seems like the kind of thing y'all might decide. So, just
Birdie
wanted to
could
check.
save the fairy.
It's like you said athletics. I was like, can it be acrobatics?
I could say
Yeah, that's fine. The athletics,
Sure,
the
sure.
acrobatics, I mean, any of that. It's just.
That's a 10. That's a lot.
Okay, that's
There you
fine.
go.
Honestly, again, I'm just looking for something to make sure that you can either brace yourself or something because even you in the air, you're not trying to walk down this.
I know you said not to be like silly, but Jericho's absolutely skipping down this track.
You know what? That's fine. What did
20.
Jericho roll? That's fine then.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm fine.
That's totally
I'm
fine.
cartwheeling.
He can. That's totally fine. I just wanted to check and just make sure, I mean, again, I don't feel like with this party that it'd be out of the thought realm that someone might be like, I wonder what happened if I stepped over the side. Maybe not, but it feels like something I should check.
Well, thanks to my brand new feet,
Look at there.
I no longer have that urge, but there was a moment
Yay!
where I was like, can I fly?
Can I fly? Maybe.
No.
Yeah.
Nope,
He
I
was
cannot.
gonna see.
Team Mind said, no, Jericho,
Says
your
no.
feet belong on the ground.
Miss Sage, because you're in the air yourself, you see this before the others, and as you are coming down this mountain, you see that there is a kite at some point. And it's a little ways away from you, but you can tell that there's a kite, maybe someone down, like, you can see that everything's about to level out for just a minute, maybe like a little bit of a plateau or something.
Mhm.
And you can see that someone from down in this area is apparently flying this kite.
I can see the kite, but not the person.
You can see the kite, but not the person as of yet.
I would fly down to our guide and let them know because they may have more of an idea of who that might be and if it's dangerous.
When you tell Amador, he says,
Sir Amador.
Sir Amador. He says, I don't know specifically. Flying kites is not generally something that's encouraged in this kind of a wind. But certainly we can go down and check it out. See who it is. I mean, again, like I said, many people enter into odd bargains here and regret them later. As this is happening, you're all coming closer. You've all kind of seen Sage dip down and speak to Amador and Sir Amador. Whether you heard her or not, at this point you can actually see the kite as well. And what you can see is that it appears to be being held by what resembles maybe like a small child size, what looks to be like a 5-year-old-ish child-sized creature is holding on to the end of the kite, the string. And as you move closer, you can actually hear what it sounds like is maybe the kite itself talking. And it sounds like it's just taunting it. We've all like heard someone on a schoolyard try to bully somebody, and it sounds just like that same kind of like, you can't even hear what it's saying yet, but you can hear the tone of its voice that it's just berating whatever child is holding the string or whatever. As you get closer, you start hearing some of the things it's saying, and it's saying things like, yeah, but you know, what if you do let go, and then what are your parents gonna think? Yeah, and you said that you were gonna do this, and I don't know, are you ever gonna get to go home? Are you crying again? Like, you kind of hear like it's just being really terrible to the creature. And as you come closer, you can kind of start seeing what you see is that it's about 40 feet between the kite itself that's up in the air and this small person, what looks like to be a small person. As you get closer, you can tell it's a very young goblin.
Hey there, youngin. What you doing?
My arms are so sore, and I don't want to fly this kite anymore. But if I let go of the string, then Creeping Lynn says I'll become an old thing. The curse comes from those 5 blue bows, but they won't come off while the wind blows.
Is you rhyming?
Yeah.
I'm digging the rhyming.
Thank you.
Huh. So your arms hurt, but you can't let go because you'll turn old. And it's a curse based on them blue bows?
Yep.
So if we get them blue blows off, you can let go and be fine?
Should be.
And end this crime?
All
Well-
in good time.
Oh. There's a big world out there and you need to shine.
I would like to go back to my
That blew
family.
my mind.
So like the blue bows are on the kite?
We got this.
Mhm.
Sage, you ready to fight a nasty talking kite?
I mean,
Now look, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are. Yeah, I could go try and get the bows off the kite if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll fly up to the kite,
Mhm.
and are they directly on the kite or like the line?
They're on the
leading
actual
to-
string lighting up to the kite.
So we'll start trying to undo.
Roll me. Let's do acrobatics. So you are trying to untie something while it bobs
Mhm.
wildly.
17.
Unfortunately, other than with a perfect 20, you're not
Mhm.
going to be able to untie them at all.
Like dirty 20 or natural 20?
I'm gonna need a nat 20 actually
All right, okay.
to allow that. The kite, it's almost like every time you feel like you're getting it loose, Sage, that the kite kind of, as they do, kind of bobs in the wind and pulls back, and then everything is retightened. Based on the feeling that you have, you might think possibly that the kite would need to maybe not be
Mm-hmm.
up in the air anymore for you to be able to untie this. And the kite continues to taunt the child, and it kind of starts in on you. Oh, I'm sorry. You thought you could just untie that? You know that's like, it's not that easy. Indolin doesn't make things easy. And you know, she animated me to torture the child. Why don't you just leave and let this be what it's supposed to be?
I'm gonna fly up and I'm gonna grab the kite.
Okay.
One on each side.
Okay.
I'm gonna fly it towards the ground.
Okay.
Close enough that one of them can maybe get to the bows and untie it while it's being held
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
in place.
I'm gonna take my
Okay.
dagger and try and cut him.
All right. So hold on. So
Sure.
the kite is 40 feet up.
Mhm.
What is your fly speed?
40 feet.
Okay. So you should be able to within a turn. However, again, in order to pull it down, I'm gonna need a strength check.
Okay.
So I'm going to need a strength check for this one. It's gonna be.
Okay.
Let me see here.
It's a D4.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do if you can give me a 15.
That's an 18 on the die.
Okay.
Plus my 3 from guidance. Plus I'm pulling. So that's a 30.
Awesome. More than enough. The kite thought it was doing stuff, but clearly not. You literally ripped it out of the
Ooh,
sky.
Picked the wrong person to mess with.
And basically fling it into, honestly, you don't even need to hand it to anyone. Like, you can easily hold it. With a 30, I'm going to give you...
Yeah, no, not 30. 27.
Okay. With a 27 still, I'm going to give you... I'm going to
An
say that you
asshole.
hold it still long enough for 2 bows to be untied. Because it takes a full round action for anyone to untie a bow.
Mhm.
So, if Sage is bringing it down, who is trying to be engaged? What are we doing here? How do you...
Not me. I have
Okay.
something else I'm going to do.
Okay, so not you. So,
I was gonna.
the other 2 of you.
I'm gonna. Now she brought it down on the ground.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my 8 foot tall, 300-pound self and step on the kite and then cut to the remaining 2 bows. That way it's not going anywhere.
Okay. So, well, no. So, okay.
Like,
So
can I cut the string?
she's gonna be able to bring it all the way down. Yes. So the
child.
Yeah, no, don't.
Don't cut them. I have to untie them.
Yes.
Yeah, you got on time. Don't cut
Alright,
it.
then
Yeah.
I will not cut them. I will untie them.
yeah. So the bows need to be untied.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so there are 5 of them. So what I'm saying is, if she brings it down to the ground and you step on it, within that, between the 2 of you, I am going to easily say she holds it still long enough for you to get 2 off, and with you stepping on it, between the 2 of you can take another one off. But there's 2 left. So how do we want to take care of these last 2? Parthenos, would you like to engage in this endeavor? Are you trying to calm the child? Like, what are you doing?
Try to take one of the bows off.
Okay.
And Night Amador. And also Gleam.
They can hold on to.
Okay.
Yeah, we got entourage.
I will allow the 2 of them to help. As soon as that happens, the bows are taken off. The actual kite itself falls silent and just goes limp.
Oh, good. I don't have to do that.
As if whatever magic was animating it maybe is just gone now.
I was gonna intimidate it, but I guess I don't have to.
I had 2 things. Dispel magic and Earthbind.
Either of
took
those would have been
Dispel.
great options, absolutely,
I almost took
to
Dispel magic.
work through that.
I was thinking about
You
it.
don't have a fly speed
The
anymore.
muscle just wrestled the
Yep, Dragon Rage
to the
Sage, once
ground.
again, saves
That's
the
right. Dragon Rage Sage. Kite Slayer.
Okay. So,
Kite
with
fighter.
that,
It's got a rhyme.
the little goblinoid will run up to Sage because in its eyes, Sage clearly is who saved it.
You're
And
welcome.
will offer Sage a small trinket out of her pocket.
Dead lizards.
That's fine.
It's not.
Sweet
Oh my
child.
God. Why?
Whatever it is.
Always coming up like the
You
worst
have
thing.
children.
the
You know
worst
they
thing.
put all kinds of
They
random
do.
stuff in their pockets.
Hey,
They
first
do.
of all,
Like rocks.
it's better that they give you a frog out of their pocket than that it stays there until you try to wash the clothes.
I mean, we used
Just
to
saying.
get little lizards into our house when we first moved into it,
I had to save one from work today.
and the cats would find it, and then the child would then like
Keep it in a box.
Yeah, they put the carcasses
See?
in a box,
Pet
and I
lizard.
don't know why.
Pet lizard
So
just
I
for
mean,
you.
it's not
It was
unusual.
trying to.
Not as far fetched as you
No,
first
it's-
scoffed at.
It's really not, is it?
It was real sad when
Well,
she
I
tried
stopped at you
children.
thinking that it was gonna bother me.
Oh,
Not
children.
doing
Didn't say
it.
it was gonna bother you, just figured,
Yeah,
you know.
That's
no.
what
here's your
happened,
dead
huh?
lizard.
Yeah, no. Mhm.
Miss Sage, I will let you roll a D100, and I will tell you what that
Ooh.
is as far as what the trinket is.
Okay.
From the Feywild table, which I moved to
25.
some other part of my
Very
book
neat.
so I could find it. So I will have to look it up here. But okay, so 25. So I will tell you what that is in just a moment. The creature, the small goblinoid child, looks at you and she just said, "Thank you so much for saving me. I appreciate it."
What is your name, youngin?
My name is Fina.
Fina?
You're not
Pleasure to
right.
meet you, Fina.
I'm gonna go hide in that cave over there. Cause,
What's in that cave?
Nothing. I just don't want to go back to Creeping Lynn.
Oh, you
You
don't,
don't, I
you
thought
don't
you
have
said
to.
you wanted to go home.
I do, but
Which way is home?
I'm really a little more worried about going back where Creeping Lynn is, which is where my home is.
Where? Okay.
What's
Who's creeping
Creeping
Lynn?
Lynn.
Who's creeping Lynn?
She's the owner of the castle.
Oh, that's
That's
one of her
the
other
hag
names.
that were.
Oh, hey, we's about to bust her up.
Yeah, we're gonna take care of this problem for you.
Yeah, hey, you won't come with me? We got Sir Amador here. He's a knight of the first realm.
No, thank you. I'm just gonna hide in that cave over there. If you run into my parents, so you can tell them where I am, they know where this is.
Are you
Fina's
in
in
the
the
castle?
cave. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Keen mind. I won't forget.
I'll forget.
No problem.
Cannot possibly any longer.
Player won't forget.
Player will definitely forget.
Player will forget.
Player forgets all kinds of stuff.
Oh, so many things to say. Okay. So as you've done that, child is very thankful. She gives the trinket to Sage, and Sir Amador turns and says, "You know, I'm so glad y'all are with me now when we were able to do that.
First night.
As you see,
What were your oaths?
Endlin,
Protect the innocent and the pure, right?
yes,
And you did a fine job.
again with your help, thank you. As you can see, though, Endlin doesn't discriminate regardless of age either.
We've seemed to have figured that out about all the hags so far.
Yeah.
They don't care, which is why Lord Almighty Parthenos over there is out to smite them.
Lord Almighty.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what everybody says when they see him come. Lord Almighty, it's Parthenos.
Oh, okay.
We burned down that one hag's tree home. We're planning on burning down the other one.
Yeah.
I would like to keep this castle for me as a bard of the king. I think I deserve it. And so we're gonna kick her out, and I'm gonna take this as my home in the Feywild.
I mean, that seems fair to me. Really and truly, because nobody else would want it. It fits your aesthetic.
It does.
Unless you decide to go softer,
No,
later
that's not
on.
happening.
In which case, like, you may want to.
Tried the glam rock, couldn't sleep, so drop that phase.
Well, yeah, it's all it's all the coffee you kept drinking.
I do. And Jimmy.
Okay. All right. So, good deal. All right. So you begin along your path again. You begin to kind of climb upwards, and at this point, actually, Sir Amador actually points and he tells you, if you can see, and what you can see is that you're coming up to another area where there appears to be maybe almost a large open space. It's not quite a meadow, but it looks like more green than you've seen in a lot of places around here. It looks nice. And you're not quite there yet, but you see like these large standing stones in the area, and he's telling you we'll be there within the next hour or two.
Beware.
But this is Lockberry Hinge that we're headed towards.
Anybody know what that is?
Nope.
This
Don't
is-
you know?
No, I don't know. I just, maybe in your many travels with the carnival, you may have picked up on a thing or two.
Did I pick up on a thing?
I don't know. What does your roll say?
Well, I need to roll.
You want to give me
History?
history would
Prophenos
be
is
fine.
Talking with Gleam, he would have.
As an
This
8.
is where we're going.
I know. I'm like, he's like. I mean, I.
As an 18 plus 6.
There you go. There's that bard in you coming out.
It's where we're
I
supposed to
know
go to
dates.
get to the Cloven.
It feels like literally you're standing there going, we literally talked about this, guys. And Torna's like, hey, you know what I found out? I remember this one time I read in a book
Yeah.
that like the name of Lockberry Henge, like it's this place that Corrids like to hang out. You're like going,
Yeah, no, that's,
Yeah.
I mean, but that's
and
what he
Parthenos
does.
does this thing where he just graciously allows Torn to have this moment in the sun, and he's just like,
I was thinking about how cool it'd be to own
Wisdom.
a castle, so I said,
thank
no.
you. He's just like, yep,
Castle.
that's
Castle.
good.
Kind and
So
benevolent ruler.
you can continue along. Before you can get there, though, a wagon appears in the middle of this area. The path seems to widen out a little bit, and you actually see a wagon headed towards you. It appears to be being led by a hooded figure, and it doesn't look like a regular wagon. It almost looks like maybe a traveling puppet show or something. As it draws level with you, as not even draws level, as it gets to within 5 feet of you or so, it actually pauses. The wagon pauses, and they just stand there as if waiting for you to either choose to approach or choose to not speak to them or move past them. But you can tell from because they almost kind of move over to the side, you can tell this is absolutely a wagon that is set up for nothing more than putting on impromptu traveling puppet shows.
Well, I mean, I would take time to watch this if you all wanted to, but I'm not saying that we should. But if you all wanted to, Jericho would not say no.
Little buddy, do you want to watch the puppet show?
I want to watch this
Let's
puppet
watch
show
the puppet
so
show.
bad.
We'll watch the
Alright,
puppet
then
show.
we'll say we'll watch the puppet show.
Yay!
say
Jericho
that.
gets to watch the puppet show.
We'll do it,
He's
little
up
buddy.
front already. You don't even know where he got popcorn from. It's probably old. It came from the carnival.
Like a little
He is
kid,
just sitting there ready. Go!
I got a potato.
You got potato!
He's got the
Oh,
You got
God.
that
Oh,
potato.
God.
Make
He's
potato
just making
popcorn.
little potato chips for no reason. Like,
Yeah, I'm
Cool.
cutting thin and sliced.
Jericho, as you settle in front of this, you see little marionettes start to march out from the sides.
It's
of the
starting.
curtain.
It's starting. Everybody. Shh.
And Jericho, you actually see when it's clearly meant to be you. He is dressed in some of
That's
your
my favorite one
most
right there.
colors. And all of a sudden you can tell all of the puppets appear to be your party, and it appears to be almost like a replay of some of your first moments there in the Witchlight Carnival. You see them kind of like,
There's where I got chased by that damn dog.
yeah, and then you see them like,
Yep.
walking.
It's happening right there.
Yeah,
Didn't know puppets could do that. This is some amazing special effects.
it is.
I
It's
think
fabulous.
Jericho gets his periwinkle wings.
Yeah, does.
I was so pretty that day.
I think I still have.
When he gets to meet the
Yeah.
swan. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
Lady
there's your love.
Palasha.
Yeah.
I still think about her.
I bet you do.
And it doesn't go like really slow. It just really quick snippets. Some of your favorite memories though. So like for Jericho, like he said, clearly
It's
he
all
would
of them.
love to see Lady Featherine. So he has like this moment
Lady Feathering.
Um,
Who did I say?
of that.
Palasha.
Which one's Palasha?
That's the singer.
That's the
That's
mermaid.
singer.
That's the
Who
mermaid.
you helped
that
get
he
married to
married
Candlefoot.
Candlefoot.
Yeah, she's taken.
I wonder how that's going.
Stealing from him?
No, it wouldn't steal. But I mean, if she
Oh
wanted to go
my God.
willingly, or if they were to decide
Wow.
that they needed.
Wow.
There's been a love written in the stars, Jericho.
Yeah, well,
Calm yourself.
I'm just
Or
saying,
love something.
love is
How
love.
would
and Maybe they want some fuzzy love.
feel about that?
Oh my God.
Well, I'm not trying to wreck a home. I'm
Okay,
just trying to join one.
okay. Just if you needed a home to wreck, got you. Okay. But some of your favorite moments. Parthenos,
Hopefully she'd
you
come with
see
Oh
you
my
being
God.
crowned, like you see that moment,
Mhm.
and then you kind of see like a little bit of a flash forward, and you kind of have these moments of like you see, and from outside, this is the first time that any of you have gotten this the two of you have gotten this perspective at least. You watch your marionettes reclaim their items. So you kind of get to kind of see what it looked like from the outside when Sage tossed these Sage went in to look for the trinkets and Jericho decided to toss them out the window. And you see Parthos, you can now see what, again, they're very animated puppets, but you see like the look of joy that like came over you, and you see your marionette like rush off to be creating furiously, and you kind of it disappears off the side of the stage to do that, and you don't see it for a few more moments, but then you see Torn. You can see from outside now. You see yourself receiving
It's raining.
your horns again. Yes, it is.
If y'all can't hear that, it just started pouring rain.
It really did. Yay!
Yeah.
So glad my windows are up.
It'll
Mm-hmm.
be a fun trip.
Hopefully it's going
I mean, it's Florida.
Probably.
Well, good ambiance. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I guess it does
Right.
fit.
That's
perfect ambiance. You get to see Torin, though. You get to see like that moment that your horns like seem to come back to you, and you kind of get to see yourself like in that moment where you like struck a pose where it was like, and you're like, that's the album cover right there. Yes.
You could do an album cover of the marionettes doing the album cover.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
But how do they know all this information?
So bad.
Where's the
We don't
scribe
question that
smell?
kind of stuff. We just be glad that it's here so that we
Definitely
can
not.
revel in its mastery.
Where's the scrying guy?
And Sage, you see the moment that, like, for you, it kind of has like a moment when some of the others kind of drift off, and you have like a spotlight moment, and you see yourself with everybody else on the outside edges, or even not in the edges of the light, and you see yourself slay that dragon pretty much single-handedly because
There it is.
for
Right
you,
there
this was your crowning moment. Like, you get to see, and you get to see in real time, like looking from the outside, how much bigger that dragon was than you, and how amazing and how stunned everyone else would have felt, you know, and you can feel this overwhelming sense of pride, of course. You're like, right?
Incredible.
Absolutely incredible. And it kind of flickers through just other scenes that you found really personally, you know, fulfilling, things like that.
Wow, that's really coming down.
I'm glad I don't have to drive right this minute, guys.
Yeah, on the map they're just little rain.
I don't know if y'all can
scatters.
hear it, but in here it is just a roar of rain.
It really is. It's not about it, guys.
Echoing
Yeah,
so much
yeah,
on
it's
that
so
road.
bad.
It's just like a little thunderstorm over our area.
Yeah,
so it should
definitely.
be gone
It's
by the
like
time we-
centralized over us.
Yes.
Like,
So,
might be picking them up.
so we apologize if there's any weird background noise all of a sudden. But
Ambiance.
rain.
But we're
you
in a
know.
rainy area.
Right.
We're the
You know, it is what it is.
louder.
Yeah,
So-
or if the internet and power goes out, that'd be pretty terrible.
Oh,
too.
why? Don't say things like that to the universe. And so as
You do not want to
everything
be in
is,
this room when the lights go all out.
Is it dark?
Oh, it is pitch black.
Oh no.
I could still find my way out, but that has more to do with my insane fear of going blind. So that's there.
That's not an insane fear.
It
That's
is
a
an
legitimate
actual fear of mine.
It should have been fear.
Hey, look, it's
Sorry.
stopped.
It did. Because it's Florida and it
Just-
stops like it starts, and you're just like,
Yay, Florida.
neat. So you see all of this Parthenos. You even see right at the end, as everyone's characters all come back onto the stage. Parthenos, it appears that maybe you're part of, like your actual characters. You see some of them kind of unrolling this streaming banner across, and you can tell Parthenos that maybe it looks like some of like maybe the best work you would have done, because it's not just the letters that say to be continued, but those really neat like ones that are like letters that have full-on scenes inside some of the larger letters, like, you know, like
You got like a tree,
Full, like, little-
and then you got like
yeah,
a little
like-
hobbit, and he's
Yeah.
carrying a giant
there's a whole
acorn.
thing going on in some of these letters, and you're just like, yes, I remember that. So, and that's kind of how the play ends. It wraps up with just a to be continued. it stops, and at that time, you hear a voice call out from within. We wanted to offer you, thank you for being good sports and good listeners. We have here for you 3 tickets, and at that, the creature, the thing that's been standing off to the side, it just looks like a robed figure. You can't make out any details of it. It looks almost shadowy within it. But he hands out to the 4 of you these tickets that he tells you are, and across the tickets you can see good for 1 private audience with Idolin Moongrave, with no strings attached. Feels like there's definitely strings attached. It feels like there has to be when that's the last words on it, but hey, who knows? But he hands one to each of you. And with that, the shadowy hooded creature backs off, and the wagon and he and the wagon resume, and they just walk off.
Wait.
And they pause.
I would like to make a donation to your cause, because what you just did was make this Lapine very happy.
But how did you know all that information?
We don't care about that.
Well, that's kind of important.
I must reward you for your creativity and bringing joy to my furry little heart.
Okay. And with that, there is just a very basic marionette that looks unfinished, as if it hasn't decided what it's to become yet. And it bounces back on the stage and says to you, we take tribute in the form of trinketry or small magics.
Oh, I got you.
And it lays down it does this, and it kind of gestures, and then you notice there's kind of almost like a little bit of a sunken in area in the middle of the stage where you can set things.
Okay, literally every piece of gold that I just got from that cave is going in that little divot. I'm like, here, take it all. It was worth it. Don't ever lose the craft.
I should hopefully get rid of your.
I don't care if it does or not. I'd love to sit and watch it again.
He's like, I'll do it every time.
How did they know all that stuff about us?
I got me a box of cereal. I'm going to sit here and watch the marionettes and eat my cereal all day if I can.
Cereal, not popcorn now?
Yeah, I got cereal now.
Popcorn cereal.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a name brand.
Yeah, I was going to say. I'm trying so hard. Yeah. Makes all the
But I
noises,
can't
though.
say that.
My brand power.
Yeah.
Anywho.
It's popcorn.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Exact cereal.
Anywho.
In the
Yeah.
in the hopes and pretels of enhancing said puppet show now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Parthenos will put the spool of silver thread that he got onto the platform.
Okay.
His mightiness knows only generosity at that fine gift. Spread the word.
Well, how did you know all that stuff about us?
Like I've done said, we don't care.
I think he's a little obsessed at this point.
It seems
I don't
like
know how
it.
Torn is. He has
Um,
one track mind
Fixation.
sometimes. Yeah. You can hyperfixate on one thing.
No idea what that's like.
What is one track? You got a smart track. Now you
Hyperfixation.
gotta figure out.
That sounds neurospicy.
It really does. Why you end up with like 4 different sets of fabric to make something you're never gonna make. It's so important.
Alright.
Yeah.
I like airbrushes and never use
No,
them.
but you will make it. Just not today.
The funny thing is, he's not neurospicy. He just lives with a whole household of them.
Yeah, I'm hurting cats every day.
Fairly certain that it's just different flavor of neurospicy that we're talking about, but sure.
It might be. Never mind.
Yeah, I hear you, and I know what words you're like. I know where you're going with that. It may be, if nothing else, you're dyslexic, so there's that.
Shall
Just
we?
saying.
Shall we continue on and
Yes.
let them continue?
Instead of
Because we don't care.
continuing, yeah, that's fair.
Well, I do have dyscalculia, which is why I read my dice the way I do.
I appreciate that you do work on that. Either way, so Torn, a little marionette comes running back on the stage, and it looks like you. It's the one that was clearly you, and it looks almost like it is in the middle of maybe some of the magic starting to fade off or something, because it still looks like you, and you can definitely see the horns. This is clearly supposed to be you, but when you look like down at the feet aren't like little hooves anymore. They're just like basic marionette feet all of a sudden. And it just looks at you and goes, magic.
Magic. So square.
And it just dips out. That's it. That's all you get.
That's my favorite
And-
right there.
I love that explanation.
That right there is my favorite.
I'm gonna write that out.
Just-
Magic.
That's awesome. That's the whole answer. And the shadowy beggar is just like, and it begins walking again. The wagon begins moving in. That is it.
I like it.
So as far as that is concerned, you've now run into those things. You are within a couple steps of Lockberry Henge. And as you actually come up to this area, what you actually see is the plateau, like I was saying, you can tell it was, a little bit more green than the area around it. It still looks like a nice area. It is a boulder-strewn area as well. And you can see now that there is a circle of 8 megaliths, so large rocks standing in a circle in the middle of this area.
Stonehenge.
In the middle of this henge,
No,
a
rock
small
henge.
checkered board game with some stone playing pieces rests on the ground near the dying embers of a campfire. As you get closer, you can see that the stones themselves, the 8 stones around this area, they're about 8 feet tall. And like I said, it looks like a game, possibly an erupted and dying fire. What should you like to do?
Amador?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Where's all the Korred folk?
Oh, well, I mean, they often gather here. But they do tend to sometimes be a little secretive.
How do we get them to show themselves if they are hiding? Is it like a game?
I have been told one of the best ways to summon them would be to finish their game.
So it is a game. Okay.
How do we play this game?
It's a Korra game. I don't know, bro. He's just like, I know.
Well,
I'm a plant.
master of all knowledge,
I know so
take
much.
a look at this here
I'm a
board
plant.
and see what your bardic self can come up with.
So,
Is that history again?
actually, it is going to be not that one. Hold on. About how'd you roll the wrong thing? Because I was looking at something else. And I was like, oh, that's neat. That's not what you need to know right now. Let's see. It is going to be a wisdom.
Oh shit. Alright.
Hold on. It's not. It doesn't have to be a straight wisdom. Hold on.
Don't matter.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not wisdom. It's actually intelligence,
Okay,
insight.
that's good.
Okay. Insight. I need a 14.
Insight's wisdom.
That should be intelligence. No, you know
Um,
what? The
I'll
book
throw
says
you-
insight.
I'll throw you a guidance.
I don't care.
But if you fail it, I got this.
Or insight is wisdom, yeah.
There's a big difference because
You
intelligence is a
know.
+5, wisdom's a -3. So.
Just roll me insight. Don't ask me why the book
Would you
says it's an
prefer it
intelligence.
if I
okay?
do it? Because I pretty much can't fail it.
that might be
roll
better.
that as well.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Better, but
I mean, you
know what? Let's
literally
see what
could
happens.
all
I'll
stand
let
around
them
the
go.
board and
I'll let
roll
you
this,
guys
like
go.
staring at it, like, hold on, wait. I
Can
think
I
I
get
remember
a
this game.
D4 for the guidance?
D4.
Alright.
Sorry, you
Just
got
because
it.
he's the bard doesn't mean that one of the rest of you wouldn't look at this and be like, oh yeah, I used to play this game all the time with whomever.
9,
We all have
2,
to.
1, 2, 3.
I can give
That's
everybody
a
that. 7 for the bard. Parthenos, what you got?
14.
14.
Okay, so that's enough.
Insight?
What did we need?
We only needed 14.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, he got it.
Didn't make it.
I'm not
Didn't
worried.
It's okay.
17.
Parthenos, you will make it. It's not that hard. Like,
I
it's not that
agree.
hard when you're staring at it, and
Insight should be intelligence.
you actually look at the board and you're staring at it, and then you're like, oh, this is that one game. And you remember you've played this game before with maybe some of the others of your order in the past, right? When you used to go out on those long missions and draw those hideous maps, but, maps nonetheless.
Yeah.
They got people where they needed to go, right?
Somehow.
Somehow. What you can actually tell, though, is looking at it, is that you can kind of see that it's fairly obvious that there's a darker one and a lighter one, the darker one being slates, and that if you move them just right, they can beat the chalk in a single move. So if you would like, you can get down there and just make the move and just see what happens.
I'll do that.
Okay. So as you make this move, you actually hear laughing and like playful jeering being shouted out from one of the stones, and you see a creature that is definitely a Korrid. You can't quite tell how you're sure, but you can tell it's definitely a female. Maybe the crown that seems to sit atop its head, even though it's barely visible. But she's laughing and she's saying, "Thank you, and see, wasn't that a great game? Told you I was going to beat you. Took someone else's help, but that's not what's important." See, they could tell how bad your strategy was in the first place. Like, she's just laughing, and you see emerge from these actual 8 monolithic stones, you actually see, just like she did, she just stepped out of a stone. You see another one just step out of a stone. He's like, yeah, whatever.
That's neat.
I could have won. She actually tells you, she comes to you and says, "Thank you. I am queen of one of the Korrid clans, and my name is Queen Argantel. And I would like to give you a gift for helping me to complete that." And
use a queen.
I am. And
Is there a Mrs. Queen? Mr. Queen?
A king.
I mean, do you rule alone?
Don't judge.
My lord. Every time. And she looks at you and she's
I
like,
weird.
"Honestly,
Really?
thanks, but no thanks. At this point, I am really just focused on leading my people. Thank you."
Yep, no.
Um,
Totally get it. Gotta focus on you. Keep your career in front of you.
Queen Argantel
Definitely.
reaches down and
Yes,
picks
queen.
up.
Girl boss. Who runs the world? Girls.
She picks up a rock, and she holds it between her hands, and she squeezes it really tightly. And at that point, she moves her hands back, and she offers to you a star sapphire. It's a fairly decent sized stone. It's worth 1,000 gold points on the market. But as you accept the gift from her, the stone itself, this beautiful sapphire, actually begins to glow faintly. And she tells you, "I wish you, General, good luck for your next day. For the next 24 hours, this actually works as a stone of good luck. There's no attunement required."
I got me one of them too.
But as she is doing this and she's telling you thank you, you actually start hearing from over to the side, like kind of outside of the stones, there begins to be this really loud racket. And you kind of see a bunch more Korrids come out from maybe where they were hiding or whatever. Who knows? Like, they weren't there, but now they are. They don't seem to have came out of these stones, but they came from somewhere. But you hear them. You actually see them. They're grinding their teeth and they're stamping their hooves, and you can hear just faintly a faint sound of pickaxes tapping on stones that appears to be kind of carried on the wind to your ears and maybe to the Korrids. You didn't hear it a minute ago, but now you do, and now all these extra Korrids are running around like angrily making noise and stuff. And you see the queen, who was so nicely talking to you just a moment ago, seeming to get frustrated, and she runs over to a boulder, she picks it up, and she actually hurls it, and it goes 100 feet in the direction from whence this tapping noise is coming. A terribly strong creature. And
Muscle mommy.
right? And you hear her, and she starts screaming, "Death to the Brigand! And as this happens, there's an extremely loud peal of thunder, like it's always thundering, but all of a sudden way stronger, way louder again. and you kind of hear that the noise seems to pass. You stop hearing like the pickaxe noises and stuff, and the chords themselves seem to kind of calm down. And she comes over to you and kind of starts telling you, I'm sorry, that seemed out of character. The Briganox are helping build her in to build her wicked contraptions for her theater, and we don't approve.
What's a Briganox?
They are our enemies now, apparently.
What? Well,
What they look
yes,
like.
we support you in the hatred of your enemies.
Yeah.
But could you tell us a little bit more about
Could you
them?
tell me what they look
Death
like?
to the Briganox.
You're all just like, sure, they should all die.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh no, they
No
did.
idea what's
That is
happening.
in character
But y'all gotta
for
die.
us.
Very much a character for us. Oh no, they did.
You
Murder
hate these
them.
people? Cool, we do
Us
too.
too.
Oh,
They're
Why
the
do we hate
worst.
them?
I have a sudden hatred for
Yeah, that's a hatred now. Never met one, but
Shall we
kill 'em all.
dispose of them?
Yeah,
Yes?
I can gorging rush now.
They tell you, well, they're these creatures who like to excavate the mines around here, and like I said, we assume that they're working with Bitter End. It seems to be what's going on. And
How many names has Lady got?
apparently all of them. How about that? That's
That's
what I'm staring on, like,
Other
no,
names.
I've got not like I
This
got too
must be
many
the
names
queen
to try
hag.
to keep up with right now.
must be
No,
Come
no,
on.
Queen
Queen,
of the
Queen
Hags.
is the Queen is Zablina.
Well, yeah, we know they're related.
Well, they're all sisters. You know that much.
Yes. Everyone knows Lena's part of the Hag family. We kind of glossed over that, but I saw the portrait.
We did, but
Torn made the connection.
I was gonna say I'm
You're
really
wrong.
proud of you because I was a little like,
I noted he made the connection.
Yeah, no, we
Just
got
didn't
it.
think-
We
we
just
got
didn't
it, we just
have
didn't
anybody to
care.
ask
We
questions.
I don't
cared.
care.
Don't care.
We had nobody to ask questions to at that point. We
You're
just
fair.
saw
That's
that.
fair.
Acid.
They tell you.
All right, hold on. We're gonna get some information.
They tell you you're trying to ask like, what is a Briganock? What does it look like? What are they? They are these mouse-sized creatures. They explain to you. They're smaller than us. And that seems to, for whatever reason, make them feel like they're better suited to mining.
Sure.
But they tell you, I mean, they kind of look like if mice were grumpy old men with ridiculous mustaches, and too much ear hair, not enough actual hair on the rest of their body. It's really odd.
All I can picture.
I definitely get the
is
hate.
from Kung Fu Panda.
Okay.
Not
so-
far off. Not
based
far
on
off.
the-
So I'm staring at them, going, I don't.
Based on the
All right.
What's happening?
Well,
looks like a
Your Majesty,
mouse on meth and steroids.
Yeah, I know. Like, why? What is happening?
let us.
I'll be happy to put one of these in the comments after
Yeah.
tonight,
Yeah,
so
that'd
you
be
can
great.
see it because
Yes, please do. It's very interesting.
it's that's
All right,
all I
Your
got.
Majesty. Let's get to brass tacks, as it were.
Surely.
Why we are actually here.
Okay.
So I'll make the introductions as heir to the king. So we have his Lord Almighty, King Parthenos, rightful king of Prismere.
Yep, love Leona King.
The Leonin king, the king, monarch of the Witchlight Carnival, and king of Downfall.
Sorry, guys. My computer.
And then his royal bard is torn asunder, who shall never blunder.
I
At the
can
sound of
handle
his
any
thunder.
blunder with the sound of my thunder.
What he said. Not a bard. Not a bard.
Maybe just let the bard do the heralding.
No, he does the music.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he does the music.
No.
Then we have Dragon Rage, Rage in the Cage, Kite Fighter, Sage Extraordinaire.
That does not sound as.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop. Maybe stop.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, you find Fina and ask about that kite, and you'll find out.
I think the dragon has
Animated object fighter.
Literally dragged an intelligent flying kite to the ground and pummeled it into silence. And,
Wow.
yeah. See? Now it starts to make sense. And then, of course, I'm
Absolutely.
Jericho Mossblossom of the Westboro Mossblossom.
Yes, sir.
You may have heard me. I sometimes go by Cotton Candy.
Cotton candy.
Anyway,
His name.
Sure.
We've been making our way through the realms here. We started over in Hither,
All right.
and we put that place right
Mostly.
because King
So
Parthenos
House
has
Burn.
to get to his betrothed, the rightful Queen Zablina, and we just don't like the way these hags is doing things. So we took care of that, and then we get over to thither and find out that they's mistreating the kiddos. And we put a stop to that and burned her little wooden house down.
Burn that bitch's house down.
That's right, we did. That's right, we did.
They really did.
And now he's here for the finishing blow, as you could say, to take on Bitter End, whatever else her names go by. We just gonna call her Dead Meat.
Okay.
We're gonna bring her to an end.
Yeah, we gonna bring her to this. So we got Gleam here. Gleam is just one half of the puzzle. Once we get her sister together, Sister Glister, they gonna form up a what's it called when the moon goes in front of the
Eclipse.
No, that ain't it. Like when celestial bodies coalesce.
Solar eclipse, lunar eclipse.
Anyways, so when we gonna bring about some apocalyptic times upon this woman
And I'm gonna take over her castle.
and her castle.
It shall be
But
fine.
we've been told by Sir Amador here, recently married, by the way, to the lovely Pollinetta there, that
Pollinella.
Pollinella.
Just no reason, just out of the middle.
right, Pollyanna.
Polly.
Anyways, cute little bumblebee with the bodacious stinger. We's gonna ransack that there castle, but we need your help.
Yep.
And we was told you could help.
You know, if you're trying to put an end to her, then
Yeah, well, we certainly
Absolutely.
are, and all
We-
her obnoxious, awful displays of dramatics.
we would be happy to. I would be happy. My clan would
I was gonna
be.
say, you said we, is that like
Um,
royal we or like we for like everybody involved?
Oh, that we is for me. I'm only one of the 8 leaders of the Chords. But, and with that, you kind of see her walk over and tap on some of the others, like tap on one of the other stones. And you see other leaders come out of the other remaining 6 stones. And they're like,
Howdy, y'all.
hello.
Suppose you heard all that.
We did.
Death to bitter end.
Absolutely death to bitter end.
We'll bring her to an end.
If you are going to help us, we would be more than glad to help you put an end to her and her ways here. This.
You mean you haven't heard of King Parthenos the Generous? King Parthenos, the gift giver. King Parthenos, he who sets things right.
We haven't.
Well, you just
Oh
did.
my goodness.
But thank you.
Can I just tell you, we walk in the garden of his turbulence.
Mm-hmm.
I once watched this man spend a whole year in silence just so he could better understand the sound of a whisper.
And with that, I think that we shall end the evening. With that good moment for us to end on, and now 2 weeks to contemplate. Coasters, we hope you'll join us again next week, though,
Absolutely.
Thank you,
to
Brian.
continue Dragonlance campaign.
Mhm.
And we will see you again in 2 weeks here to continue finding out about what Parthos found out about whispers
It's absolutely
in the
ridiculous.
silence.
He's
gonna
understands
end
better
this
than anybody I
hag.
know now.
I'm gonna get Heavy Metal Castle.
Whispers.
All right. Good night. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, guys. Have a good evening and keep those candles burning. Till next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.